All right, welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome back to a new video for you all today. Hope you guys have all been good since we last spoke yesterday. Today we got some good stuff coming out, and a lot of bad stuff coming out too, right? The world is pretty crazy right now, but nonetheless, we are getting some pretty good crypto news coming out. So we're going to go over why Bitcoin market will get interesting after Thursday's difficulty change. XRP price must shake 30-month lows versus Bitcoin to start a rally. And I got some interesting news for XRP today as well that I'm excited to share with you guys. And then we also have people will use digital currencies because governments will run out of options, says former banker who predicted today's economic meltdown. I read through this, guys. It's very interesting. I'm going to hold this one off till last because I think most people probably won't be interested in this. But if you are, this will be towards the end of the video if this is all you want to see, because I know some people really want to see this type of stuff. With that said, let's go over the quick update of the market and market sentiment. So we have Bitcoin trading at 9,500, Ethereum 239, XRP 20 cents. Everything's trending up. If we look at these graphs here, everything is trending up very, very nicely. Litecoin at 46, Cardano almost 8 cents, 293 Tezos, and a 438 Chainlink, a 7-cent Stellar, and VeChain, guys, is again up again, 0.0066. And just look at that graph. If you've been holding, I mean, check this out. Over the week, if you were holding VeChain, you're up 51%. And this graph just shows exactly what we've been seeing. If you guys have been watching all the videos on this channel each day, every day I've been saying, like, hey, VeChain is just like, it's like walking this steady staircase up. And it's just awesome because it's been consistent gains. So congratulations to everybody out there who's been holding VeChain. You should be in some pretty good profits right now. The Fear and Greed Index is at 50, dropping 1 point from yesterday, so we're still in neutral. I think, if Bitcoin claims 10K and gets above it, I think it's going to push us into high neutral greed, and I think if we start to retrace lower, we should go back into low neutral fear. That's usually how it goes when we're at the 10K mark. When 10K comes, everybody gets super euphoric, and when we aren't able to penetrate through to 10K and we start having a major sell-off, people get very bearish, very scared, and they think we're going back down to $1,000. Bitcoin search terms on Google Trends still at 37, so no really big influx coming. We could look at a shorter time frame, like if we look at the past 30 days rather than the past 90. It's basically just kind of flatlined. Like I said yesterday, guys, I think we're just waiting for Bitcoin to do something, right? Where are we getting moves up and down? Yeah, but we need that major thing to come. But if we do look at the graph here, still on the lower bands, guys. I like to look at this graph because it really just humbles myself. I can see the overall market picture. I have a long-term trading strategy, so looking at a graph like this allows me to think long-term. Whereas if I'm sitting around all day and I'm looking at 4-hour graphs or 60-hour graphs, my thinking gets really skewed. I can't make decisions based on my long-term strategy because, you just start getting kind of swept up. So I just like to humble myself and look at the long-term because my goal is the long term. Want to show you guys a couple things on Twitter. So for whale alerts today, we have 100 million USDT printed. In the past, when we see a huge amount of USDT printed, this usually floods into mainly Bitcoin and then some alts. And as Bitcoin rides up, those profits also get put into alts. So basically what I'm saying is usually when this happens, there is a pump. And the fact that Bitcoin is sitting right under a resistance level, major resistance level, and it's getting some good support, it's above all of its major moving averages, we could see a price pump. And I wouldn't be surprised because usually when this much tether is printed, we do have a price pump. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe this is a massive fake out. We really don't know. But I do want to play you guys a clip here that I saw. And just interesting to see a YouTuber who I don't think he's ever really, this is Christopher Green from @Amtv, and usually he talks about Bitcoin, but just listen to what he says in this video here.
It is a new currency, and XRP is not even my favorite cryptocurrency, but I know for certain that it's going to be a part of the new world reserve system. It is a new currency, it's going to go up 1,000 times. It's already being integrated into all the interbank transfer payment systems. It's going to be huge. So I'm just being honest, I've kind of thrown in the towel. I'm just going to keep buying more and more of it because I know it's the future of the entire digital economy. Hey guys, Christopher.
Interesting, guys. More people getting vocalized, more people believing in XRP. I got a couple other posts here, but they're not really crypto related. If you guys want to see what else I share on Twitter, just go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'd like to share some other world news. I've been sharing some stuff about the riots. This is a great video of police officers just really cooperating with the protesters, and it's just a great example from @the_Liz_Gonzalez. So if you guys want to see some other things, I'm just not going to play it today here on this video, maybe tomorrow. And another whale alert for you guys: 500 million XRP unlocked from escrow at Ripple escrow wallet. So we have a new batch of Ripple unlocked. Will it hit the market and price stay at 20 cents? Probably, but there is something brewing in the background for XRP. Can't quite put my finger on it, but I think more and more people are waking up to it. The fact that XRP is so low despite all the banks that are partnered with them leads me to have a lot of internal dialogue, a lot of internal thinking, and things don't make sense. The more I think about it, the less it actually makes sense. But I think XRP will be really big moving forward. If you guys like daily cryptocurrency videos like the one you're watching right now, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm basically a brand new channel. I got like 5 or 6 videos, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys daily content covering the news. Also, I'm not strictly covering just Bitcoin or just Ethereum or just any certain cryptocurrency. I want to cover the broad crypto market. I do like XRP. I do like VeChain. I love Chainlink. I love a lot of cryptos that have working products and really good use cases, ones that I really think could take off. If you guys want to see anything like that, please let me know in the comment below. And if you drop this video a like, that would help me reach more people. So if you could drop this video a like, that would help me immensely, and thank you so much for whatever support you choose to give to this channel. With that said, let's jump into the news. Let's jump into this first article here. Analyst says why Bitcoin market will get interesting after Thursday's difficulty change. Ever since the Bitcoin halving on May 11th, investors have been fearing a widespread miner capitulation. A miner capitulation is an event in the cryptocurrency market when many miners of Bitcoin become unprofitable. This often happens due to one of 3 things. 1, price correction. 2, a network difficulty adjustment. Or 3, a block reward halving. In becoming unprofitable, miners are forced to liquidate the Bitcoin they mined en masse to keep their lights on. This forces the market much lower than it started. Although the effects on prices has not been evident, data shows that miner capitulation has begun yet again. The thing is, crypto markets has held strong. It shows that over the past week, addresses believed to be owned by miners have spent/sold 673 more coins than they generated. In the last day alone, 279 excess coins were sold, showing that Bitcoin miners are trying to keep their operations afloat by liquidating their holdings. The past week, miners have sold 673 more Bitcoin than were generated. We are seeing capitulation from inefficient miners, but prices are holding steady. What do you think happens when these miners are finally shaken out? Brown explained. My highlighter tool accidentally highlighted everything on this page, guys. And for some reason, I can't get it off for the life of me. I have to like do some research, but I really just wanted to record this video. So please don't mind all of the excessive highlighting. It was done on mistake. Many may initially see capitulation as a bearish sign, but analysts are getting bullish because the Bitcoin price has not been shaken amid this uncertainty. Financial analyst, podcaster, and author Preston Pish said that the price has held way better than I ever expected, as has the hash rate of the underlying Bitcoin network. Let's go to other bullish factors. This isn't the only market factor convincing Fish of the Bitcoin bull case at the moment. In an extensive Twitter thread published towards the end of last week, he identified at least 3. They are as follows. So these are his 3 bullish factors. 1, institutions through Grayscale and futures have been accumulating vast amounts of Bitcoin since the halving. Grayscale alone has more than a 50% lead on the number of Bitcoin being mined. This is fact-checked, guys. There was other news on this before. This has come out before. We actually covered it in one video. So Grayscale is buying a lot of Bitcoin. The Chinese yuan has begun to tumble against the US dollar in response to Hong Kong relations. And 3, the US dollar is purportedly reaching a point where something could break, which would allow an alternative system to enter the fray. And guys, I think that everything there is interesting, especially the point 1 and point 3 to me. The dollar is purportedly reaching a point where something could break. Just think about that. Like, what could break? What's reaching the point of it breaking? Is it the value of the dollar that is reaching a breaking point? Things to think about. Things to put in the front of your mind and sleep on. These are things that you should think about so you can plan for them properly. Trust me when I say you do not want to wake up in a world you don't recognize one day. Okay, and then let's just follow it up with which would allow an alternative system to enter the fray. So what is that alternative system? And we just heard what's his name, Chris Green from Amtv, talking about XRP being a part of this new system that will be ushered out. I'm not trying to say that XRP is going to be the number one crypto or the only crypto. I'm just saying take this news and then take what people are saying, take where the market sentiment at. Because let's say XRP doesn't change the world and they don't have a good product, which they do. They definitely have a good product. I mean, we can see it. Banks are partnered with them. But let's just say they didn't. Market sentiment alone could drive XRP price, just the speculation from retail alone. So if that alone can drive the price, and then you add on the compounding effect that they actually do have a product, they actually do have partnerships, and their use case is to facilitate bank payments, open up Nostro Vostro accounts, and the US dollar is actually breaking in the midst of that, and prominent people are saying this. I mean, at some point, you have to wake up and you have to see the writing on the wall. Crypto is literally taking over, and this is kind of why I made the channel, because at least here I can make a crypto video and like-minded people come on. You watching this video, you'll come on, and since you're watching a video like this, you'll understand me. But try saying this to your mother, your father, your best friend, your coworkers. They are one day going to wake up in a world that they do not recognize. Please do not be that person. Please do not be caught with your pants down when any of these things happen. Moving on, and I hope you guys take that seriously. I hope that helps one of you guys. So moving on, XRP price must shake 30-month lows versus Bitcoin to start a rally. It's high time for XRP and XLM to catch up to not only Bitcoin, but also some notable altcoin counterparts such as Ethereum and Cardano. As Bitcoin has been consolidating recently, many majors have been showing strength with double-digit movements. For instance, Ethereum's Ether, ETH, rallied from 195 to 245, while Cardano rallied with 65% in the recent week. However, some relatively large altcoins are lagging heavily, and two of them are XRP and Stellar Lumens. What else is new, guys? The 3rd and 13th cryptocurrencies by market cap, respectively. So what's next for them? Honestly, guys, like I said in the video, it just doesn't make any sense. Why is XRP price so low? Does not make any sense. Honestly, I think XRP has a lot of bank partnerships, but obviously the banks are not buying XRP. Will they in the future? I mean, that's what I'm betting on. That's what I'm planning on. I think that's what a lot of people in the space are planning on, that eventually, and I think what Ripple says is eventually these banks will start to use the XRapid product, or as now it's enveloped in one product, I'm pretty sure. I forget what that product is called, but it's an all-encompassing kind of one product. But I'm sure when they actually sell these banks, they're getting them to take the first step. The second step, I think, is the use of XRP so they can offer those banks liquidity. And if the dollar continues to break, like we're seeing now, and like people are saying, people much smarter than me are saying, I think we could see XRP come and step in. However, for now, we have to deal with 1 billion XRP being dumped on the markets every month. Let's scroll down here. So XRP BTC pair is showing extreme weakness. This is good. XRP to BTC pair showing extreme weakness is good for US dollars. So know that usually means that if XRP is rising against Bitcoin and Bitcoin's falling against XRP, then usually the US dollar value of XRP is also rising during that. Usually. The real problem of XRP lies in the fact that its Bitcoin pair is doing exceptionally poorly. It's currently at the lowest point since December 2017, which is more than 30 months. Heavily needed for any upwards momentum would be a rally and break back above the previous support, which is found between 2300 and 2350 sats. If XRP can break back in this range, a further surge towards 3200 to 3300 sats level is likely to occur. Next to that, a breakthrough towards 3200 to 3300 sats would mean a break above the 100-day and 200-day MAs, a bullish sign. I think that as long as Bitcoin remains above its MAs, XRP will rise. XRP always pumps last, like even when we saw Bitcoin go to 14K and then Ethereum pumped and Litecoin was pumping and Chainlink was pumping and Tezos was pumping, and what pumped last? Ripple and Stellar. For some reason, these coins just always pump last. But when Ripple has its big pump, it does pump hard and fast. So moving on from that, this continues to cover Stellar, but I just mainly wanted to cover XRP. Not that I have anything against Stellar, but I think I consume myself in more research of XRP than I do Stellar. If you guys think I should look more into Stellar, let me know in the comments if there's something I'm missing. So, I want to cover a little bit of this. People use digital currencies because governments will run out of options, says former banker who predicted today's economic meltdown. Co-founder of online investment platform BNKtothefuture.com, Simon Dixon tells Bitcoin podcaster Lark Davies, also known as the Crypto Lark, how he outlined his thesis on an incoming economic collapse in the 2020s, when Bitcoin was just emerging. Back in 2009, the former investment banker and early Bitcoin adopter presented his ideas about monetary policy and mounting debt cycles at a lecture that was eventually videotaped and uploaded to YouTube. In the video, Dixon predicts how quantitative easing and high levels of indebtedness will increase until a black swan event triggers a collapse of the system. Right now, guys, it seems like, I'm not saying it's a black swan event, I'm not saying it's anything, but we are in real time seeing the system collapse, right? With the amount of money that's being printed, the amount of unemployment, and now these riots that are going on. I mean, the system hasn't totally collapsed yet, but if we do not get the situation under control, I think the system has a chance of collapsing, period. You can't have riots and burning cop cars and money being printed everywhere and universal basic income and just all these things all too fast, all at once. Something could collapse. Although Dixon didn't foresee the deadly and disruptive coronavirus that has swept across the globe, claiming lives, dismantling industries, and triggering mass unemployment, he says the global financial system itself thrives on a Ponzi-style setup that is ripe for the unraveling because people never repay the debt. According to Dixon, a downward spiral eventually forces governments and central bankers to embrace a losing strategy of trying to print their way out of a calamitous economic downturn. Calamitous economic downturn. But quantitative easing, he says, becomes useless as taxes can no longer cover the interest on the debt. Rewind that if you need to hear it again. That leads to the last resort. You've got one tool left, which is not using the central bank to create money as debt, but just using the government to create non-debt-based money. The problem with that is that money is inflationary. What we need is to find a way of injecting a new money supply that's not backed by debt into the economy that is also non-inflationary. I think I know one crypto off the very top of my head that does that. Bitcoin isn't backed by debt. And it's also non-inflationary, so it's actually deflationary. I don't know, just a thought. What comes next, he predicts, is a new digital currency. I believe they're going to let the banks go bust, and they're going to give you an app that will have the same amount of money, but this money will be a central bank digital currency. They're also going to distribute universal credits as the economy gets worse by you downloading an app. And in that app, it will have a credit which will incentivize you to get into the central bank digital currency. The central bank digital currency, while it is the only option left for the government, and I think it's the option that they'll have to take, it scares the shit out of me in terms of its impact on personal liberties, freedoms, and privacy. Hook, line, and sinker, I agree with that too. My biggest fear during all of this is the impact on your freedom, on your privacy, and just on your overall basic human rights. So if you guys wanted to watch the video version of this, I personally haven't. Here's the video right here from the Crypto Lark. I haven't watched it, but the article is interesting enough. I'll probably go and give that video a watch. I'm not sure if it'll be good. I don't watch the Crypto Lark. I think I've watched a couple of his videos and they seem all right, but I personally don't watch him every day. So I create my own content now. I like to do my own research, and I like to put my content in a way that I can, because the main thing I'm trying to do here is I'm documenting research for myself. So I try to get the best research I can because I want to document it for myself on day to day. And just so happens a lot of people also like to see crypto research. So I get to make content for you guys, which is awesome. So if you guys want to support the channel, go ahead and give me a subscribe. And at the very least, if you could give me a like, if you could choose to support the channel by giving me a like to hopefully reach new people, I would appreciate that so much, more than you would ever know. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed and liked the video. With that said, I'll let you guys go. That's all the news that I have for you today, and I will see you tomorrow.